Okay, you're gonna start. You go ahead.
No, you go ahead because like I have this cold and I'm driving. So yeah, you go ahead.
Okay, welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining. We are having open house today. This is Med Missionary podcast Thursdays. Actually, this is the membership. We do every Thursday. We do classes for our membership. This is Med Missionary membership. These are a group of people that have taken our courses, and these are, you know, the more advanced classes. But today we wanted to invite everybody to join us because we're going to talk about this very important topic, and this is about cancer. And as you know, this is just so prevalent at this time, so we're going to be talking about this. But before we start it, I would like to start with a word of prayer. So please let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for today. Thank you for this presentation that we're going to have. And just want to ask you that this will be a blessing to many people. There is so many people suffering from cancer, so many people dying. And so I know you have the answers, and just want to ask you that you give us all the wisdom needed to explain about this class, and it will be a blessing to all the people that are following.
And I'm driving. So yeah, you go.
In Jesus' name, amen. You might want to mute Joyce. Okay, so I'm going to start a PowerPoint, but I think I have Dr. Joyce here. If you like to share anything also, you're welcome to do it. I'm going to share PowerPoint at this time. Okay, let's see. So I've been spending time doing some research. So give me a second. Okay. So we are gonna talk a little bit about statistics about cancer. So this year, 2024, an estimated of 2,140 new cases of cancer will be diagnosed in the United States. This is just in the United States. Can you believe that? That is, this is 2 million, actually, 2,140 new cases. And also another thing is that from the people that are diagnosed or people that have been dealing with cancer for a while, 11,720 people will die from this disease. Can you believe more than 500,000 people dying from cancer? And so the more common cancers are breast cancer, prostate, lung cancer, colon, rectal cancer, melanoma, bladder, kidney, also non-Hodgkin lymphoma, endometrial cancer, pancreatic cancer, leukemia, thyroid, and liver cancer. So these are the most common cancers that we're dealing with. And let's see, trying to go to the next. Somehow it's not moving. Okay, so the most common cancers, for example, for men, the most common cancer for men is prostate, lung, and colorectal cancer. So those three cancers are the most common for men. In an estimated 48% of all cancers diagnosed in men. Can you believe that's almost 50% of the cancers are lung, colorectal, and prostate cancer? For women, the three most common are breast, lung, and colorectal. And it's more than 50% of all these for cancer of this type in women in 2024. So as you see, and it's just amazing what's going on throughout. This is just United States. The rate of new cancer is 440.5 per 100,000 men and women. Approximately 40.45% of men and women will be diagnosed with cancer at some point during their lifetime. So this is super high. The percentage is incredibly high. So the cancer rate is 146 per 100,000 for men and women per year. This is based on 2018 to 2022. Okay, so I think we did enough information about statistics. So we want to go and talk a little bit about what are the natural ways to fight cancer. And I like to start with the spiritual part first, because this is an acronym that Dr. Joyce did, Wholeness. So these are all very important to recover from illness. So we have water, habits, oxygen, love, environment, nutrition, exercise, sunshine. And the last one is sleep. And as you can tell, there's one that we added here, or Dr. Joyce added, is environment, because this is one of the big issues for cancer at this time. Also, love is, signifying the love of God in the spiritual part, which is very important. We want to be sure that, the message comes across, that, God is the source of healing, and we want to put our trust in Him. We want to really give, when we're dealing with that disease like that we really connect with God for God to guide us with everything that is needed when we're dealing with any conditions in every way. When we're dealing with cancer, we really want God's support. We want God to hold us, to lift us up in His loving arms, because this is a very difficult thing that we're going through. So not to say that we should be disconnected otherwise, but I think with everything we do, we need to have this special connection with God. And so this is the case also with cancer. I just want to tell you a little story. I was helping a patient with ALS this week, and he's not from our denomination, and he's a Christian, and we were talking about, facing these serious conditions. So I was trying my best to connect him with the source of healing, with God, and put all our trust in Him. Whatever happens, our total trust in Him, because He's going to help us go through this journey, whether we heal at the end or not. But we do need this close connection to God, because He knows what needs to happen. He is going to lead us with anything is needed. But we have to put our total trust in God. So I just want to say that is a very important part. Like I was telling this patient that, it'd be great to start the day reading the Bible and connecting with God and praying. And, and that itself is going to help us go through the day, because dealing with difficult situations, we do have to connect with God. It'll be the best thing that we can do. So trusting in God, and these are all the laws of health that I'm not gonna go over. I'm gonna focus today a little more on nutrition. All this, it's very important to exercise. It's, exercise, oxygen. It's very important to do deep breathing exercise, because it's gonna decrease also stress. when we do deep breathing exercises, and just because we're dealing with cancer, we're going to be stressed. Our body's going to be stressed. So deep breathing exercises are important. As Dr. Bill Sweat tell us, take 4 seconds deep breathing, hold it, and then exhale for about 6 seconds, something like that. So that's gonna help us not to release these stress hormones from the adrenal glands. So this is very important. Environment, especially with foods that are very linked to chemicals and GMOs and glyphosate. This is very, very important to remove all those foods, which we're going to talk a little more about foods in a bit. This is one study. Today, the strongest evidence regarding diet in prostate cancer relates to energy balance. Urologists aspiring to best clinical practice should encourage the patients to achieve a healthful body weight through regular exercise and helpful plant-based rich and fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. So that's the relationship, exercise and cancer. Sunshine is very important. We have a couple of studies on vitamin D and cancer. Sleep is super important because your immune system is going to be super depressed, and you cannot fight cancer when we don't sleep enough. So we need to go sleep as early as we can, hopefully at 10 the latest, 9 the best, so we can balance our circadian rhythm, and our immune system also is not going to be depleted when we sleep on time. And so where does the cancer start? According to this study, this is carcinogenesis. There's 3 things. One is the microbiome that is unbalanced. Another thing is the host immune system is depressed. And then we have the dietary patterns also so our healthy habits of eating might not be the way it should be. So this is the 3 mechanisms that cancer starts. So just remember, microbiome, immune system, and diet, according to this study. So this study was put up there 2022. There is a strong body of evidence that alcohol, processed foods, high salt intake, high fat intake, and foods with animal products, not just animal, but animal products also like egg and dairy, increase the risk of gastric cancer. Okay, so that's the link of processed in cancer. Ultra processed foods. We have here the evidence shows a consistent, significant association between intake of ultra-processed foods and risk of overall and several cancers. So this is very, very important because I can say, very few people that do not eat processed foods or ultra-processed foods. And this is very linked to cancer, including colorectal cancer, breast, pancreatic cancer. So this is a serious issue, I believe, because of these ultra-processed foods. So of these times, people are really, really suffering from cancer. And of course, for these ultra-processed foods, they're going to put chemicals. There is a lot of chemicals. The chemicals are involved here. And also glyphosate is involved. And a lot of toxins, pesticides and herbicides, because ultra-processed foods are in general they're not healthy at all. So you see in the picture, what are the ultra-processed foods? Number one, I did a study on ultra-processed foods, and number one, it was bread. Can you believe bread? Because they put chemicals in the bread, so it lasts longer, doesn't need to be put in the refrigerator. So that was number one. And then among other foods was chips, and so on and so forth. So we highly recommend people to get off of ultra processed foods. So we do prepare our own foods, and we do everything from scratch. Especially if you're dealing with cancer, we want to eat the best healthy foods you can ever have. Okay, and according to this study, clear factors causing cancer are red meat and processed meat, dairy products, and alcohol. How about carnivore diet? Some microbes. So when we eat, meat diet, as there's some microbes that are gonna repopulate in large amounts. So this is gonna be linked to these bacteria, H. pylori, papillomaviruses, and according to in the carnivore-associated fusobacteria, consistently induce tumorigenesis in humans and other species. So these are bacteria linked to meats that we eat, that they reproduce in our body, especially in our lung, in our colon, and it's gonna cause tumors. What are the pro-cancer diet? So if somebody is overweight, it's probably a good idea to lose the weight eating properly. But sugars is one of the things that we want to totally remove our diet. And also another problem is when the foods are low fiber diets. Low fiber is meat and meat products. Meat and meat products don't have fiber. So the problem with this not having fiber is that the toxins are going to be retained, and then we're going to reabsorb all these toxins into the body, and those are pro-cancer components. Also is consumption of red meat and an imbalance of omega-3 and omega-6. So what is that? So omega-3 is, for example, flaxseed, right? Flaxseed, chia seed. Omega-6 are usually oils. Nuts are into the omega-6. So the ratio has to be right. So the ratio, usually the healthy ratio is 1:6, 1:3. But even when we're dealing with cancer, the best thing will be to be 1:1. So that means that we have to decrease the omega-6, and we're gonna increase the omega-3s and have a certain balance there to avoid fight cancer. So this is very important. So we're gonna talk a little bit after more about flaxseed, which is omega-3. So what do we do to prevent cancer and to fight cancer? So there is a dietary polyphenols, and we're gonna talk about what are polyphenols that we need to incorporate in our diet. This will prevent oral cancer, breast cancer, skin cancer, esophageal cancer, colorectal cancer, prostate cancer, pancreatic, and lung cancer. So also it's important about other minerals to be balanced. Some minerals, I was reading some studies in the last couple of days, and when it's too high on certain minerals, you can tend to cause cancer too. So it has to be a balance, even with the minerals, vitamins, and minerals. That's why sometimes, if we're gonna overdo some of these things, it can be also not healthy. So it's better to eat all these, vitamins and minerals through foods. So but anyhow, so the study shows that polyphenols. So we're gonna talk a little bit about polyphenols and the anti-cancer properties. So these are the polyphenol-rich foods that we should eat: apples, berries, broccoli, carrots, cumin, flaxseed, ginger, ginkgo biloba, oats, olives, onions, red cabbage, spinach, turmeric. So these are great polyphenols to incorporate in our diet when we are sick with cancer. I think it's good for everybody. Anyhow, we incorporate all this in our food, except the oats that because of it's being linked to glyphosate. A lot of people is getting sick, but other than that, we eat all the other foods. Okay, according to this study, whole plant-based foods, it says the strongest evidence regarding diet and prostate cancer related to energy balance. Urologist, I think that's what's shown in the study about exercise, but this is also it's helpful to have a helpful plant-based diet rich in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. And this is for cancer also. Okay, so anti-cancer diet. So this is the diet that we really want to fight to prevent cancer and to fight cancer. In flaxseed, so flaxseed is a lignite fraction, and the next one I think is a little more specific about flaxseed. Allium is another type of food components that is in certain foods like onion and garlic that we want to incorporate every day. And then we have also cruciferous. Cruciferous are super anti-cancer foods. So we want to do it because it has a high amounts of sulforaphane. And then it's mentioning here again selenium, folic acid, B12. You know, when I read about selenium, folic acid, and B12, if we don't do it right, we can also cause issues, health issues. So it's good to be knowledgeable about how much of this we should have it, but at the same time, I myself, to be safe, we like to do it through foods that contain all these components. And then vitamin D, chlorophyll, carotenes, those carotenoids, all those are great for fight cancer, and also vitamin C. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about flaxseed. So flaxseed, it is a ligand. It is important class of dietary polyphenols present in high levels in flaxseed. Literature evidence on lignans suggests potential benefit in cancer prevention and treatment. Okay, so if I have cancer, I will incorporate this, right? I do actually do flaxseed every day. I do 4 tablespoons of flaxseed every day because I want to prevent cancer. It does many other things, and not just cancer. It does balance your bacteria and balance your hormones also, which we have another study coming on that. Okay, so what are the components of flaxseed that makes it so a superfood, super healing food? Okay, flaxseed has been one of the most studied foods regarding possible relations to breast cancer. So a lot of people said, you know, if the cancer is you know, what they said is like it's related to some hormone, and then you shouldn't have much flaxseed or something like that. It's just a misconception, because the studies show like this study, though mainly in experimental studies in animals, yet in few clinical trials, it is rich. So this is the components of flaxseed, rich in omega-3, A-linoleic acid, lignan, and fiber. So it has all these 4 components that are super great to fight cancer. One of the main components of flaxseed is the lignans, of which 95% are made of predominant secoisolyresinol, something like that. We're just going to call it SDG. SDG is converted into enterolactone and enterdiol, both with anti-estrogen activity. Remember, some cancers, like, for example, breast cancers, they say, oh, this is very estrogen predominant. So, you know, they're aggressive cancer. So, but according to this study, flaxseed will help that, both with anti-estrogen activity. So, but at the same time, it has a similar structure. So that's why they call it phytoestrogen. and they can bind the cell receptors, decreasing the cell growth. So this fights breast cancer. Flaxseed fights breast cancer. Also, flaxseed, there's other studies that show that flaxseed also fights prostate cancer, because balance the hormones also in males. So this is very good to incorporate for people that are dealing with cancer or people that would like to prevent cancer. Okay, here's another study. Some studies have shown that the intake of omega-3 fatty acid is related to the reduction of breast cancer risk. Okay, so it does, in animal studies, linolenic acids have been shown to be able to suppress growth, size, and proliferation of cancer cells, and also to promote breast cancer cells death. Can you believe that? So this will be number one food if I will have a breast cancer. Or, just I think we all should eat omega-3 every day, and flaxseed will be the best way to do it. Okay, so the other one, we heard or we read on the other side, the allium is great for cancer. So allium is an onion and garlic. So actually, some studies show that most of the healthy components of onion garlic in the skin. So lately, I've been doing my onion garlic broth. I just cut the ends, and just the ends, cut it in half, and just wash it before, and then I boil my onions. And I'm doing that the same thing with garlic. I wash the garlic and then just mash it really well. And after 10 minutes or so, I put it in the boiling water. And this should be very powerful to fight cancer. So I'm just going to give you the formula. If I had cancer, I will do 8 cups a day, at least 8 cups a day of this broth. It's very, very anti-inflammatory. It's anti-inflammatory for any condition, but cancer, according to this study, is great for cancer. So it's 1 onion. I do 3 onions because my husband has been dealing with this condition, herpes zoster, shingles. And so every day we do this. 3 onions, cut the ends, cut in half, 15 cloves of garlic, and then we put 10 cups of water. And these are big onions. 10 cups of water, we boil for 20 minutes, and he's been drinking that every day. So he drinks about 8 cups, and I drink the rest, 1 or 2 cups a day. Because I want to prevent cancer. I want to prevent inflammation. I want to be healthy. It gives you energy because the inflammation is going to be gone. And of course, we have to eat healthy also, right? Very balanced, remove the processed foods like we said before. Okay, so the effect of the thiolane type sulfite of a major component onion, this is very technical, or tumor progression and metastasis in both osteosarcoma and ovarian cancer, bearing mouse models were examined. So this is they did try this, the onion or this allium in mice, and they had cancer, osteosarcoma and ovarian cancer. And tumor proliferation was depressed. Can you believe? So not just stop the cancer, but depress the cancer, stop the cancer. The tumor metastasis was controlled by regulating macrophage activation. Can you believe that? Simple onion, garlic, that is very inexpensive. God has given us, to all of us, something simple that we can do at home. So, as I said, if I had cancer, instead water, I will be drinking onion garlic broth. And this is for a time until the cancer is suppressed. And later on, I probably got down to maybe 3-4 cups a day, or maybe 3 cups a day. And then because it's not good to be causing digestions continually. And after we do the broth, and we strain it really well, because you just want liquid. But it's good to have water, pure water, and do these treatments in not too large amounts. But when somebody has metastasized cancer, you just have to do whatever it takes. Okay, cruciferous also is a superfood for cancer. Cruciferous vegetables are a rich source of glucosinolates and their hydrolysis products, including, indoles and isothiocyanates and high intake of cruciferous vegetables have been associated with lower risk of lung and colorectal cancer. In some studies, sorry, not gonna say that word. Studies. So imagine that lung and colorectal cancer. So they did studies on that. There's many studies. I just pull up a couple of studies of all the wonderful foods for cancer. But there is hundreds and hundreds and thousands of studies with different foods. I just love doing research. So I pull some new studies. Some are new, some are old. But these are great studies. Another study says results clearly points toward a positive correlation between cancer prevention of many target organs. Many target organs. So it's not just one type of cancer. It seems like a different organ cancers and consumption of cruciferous vegetables. So praise the Lord for these super healing foods that God has given us, for these times. Okay, then we have here vitamin C in cancer. You have heard that people get these high amounts of vitamin C through IV, right? So according to the study, says, however, new knowledge regarding pharmacokinetic properties of vitamin C and recent high-profile preclinical studies have revived interest in the utilization of high-dose vitamin C for cancer treatments. So, not everybody probably has access to this, and not many places offer this, but I will eat foods that are super high in vitamin C. For example, kiwi is one of the fruits that's the highest in vitamin C. And I will do also berries. Berries are high in vitamin C. And of course, oranges and also grapefruits, those foods. But I will be eating for sure my kiwi every day, and also berries and perhaps grapefruit every day. And you can make just a drink out of these three things. I know we did this for COVID that needed a lot of vitamin C. We just make a drink out of these three fruits, very concentrated dosage of vitamin C. Now, zinc is another one. Zinc and cancer, the anti-cancer effect of zinc is most often associated with its antioxidant properties. If you check zinc, what foods contain zinc, is going to be legumes, especially lentils. Also, let me remember another one, is sunflower seeds, things like that. So if we eat all these foods, every day and rotate them, things like that, we're not going to lack zinc. So it's very important to have a plant-based diet that is balanced and has all these super healing foods. Here's another study. The prostate normally contains abundant intracellular zinc, and zinc loss is a hallmark of the development of prostate cancer development. So, people that's dealing right now with prostate cancer, I will eat also foods, everyday foods that contain zinc. Here's another study. The pancreas and prostate and mammary glands are secretory tissues that have unusual zinc requirements. So zinc, very important on hormonal cancer. Yeah, prostate. Okay, and they tightly regulate zinc metabolism through integration of zinc import, sequestration, and export mechanisms. Okay, so this is important, and the pathophysiology of these organs. Okay, so vitamin D also, I found this study also, there's a lot of studies. I think I just was able to get this study. the pancreas, prostate, and mammary glands. Okay. I think I never went to here. That was the last study I was doing right before we started this program. So the study didn't make it there. Anyhow, that's what I was gonna show today in the class. But I like to talk a little bit about the super healing foods. We have a course, as Med Missionary course, that we train people how to eat plant-based that is balanced using the super healing foods. And we have this schedule where we added these foods. So we have this super anti-cancer food also that is turmeric. So the turmeric, we do 1 to 2 teaspoons every day incorporated in our breakfast. That's very anti-cancer. We have also the peel of the orange that is very anti-cancer, and they balance your bacteria also. So we have that. We eat for breakfast like about 1 to 2 teaspoons also every day. So you should incorporate that if you're dealing with cancer. And also we have this since the garlic is super anti-carcinogen. So we do 2 cloves of garlic with 1 tablespoon of lemon juice and 4 ounces of water. We blend it, we multiply it many times. So you have it for 3 or 5 days. It's a good food that it doesn't spoil for 5 days. So you can make a big bottle. So at home, I make a big bottle and it's ready just to serve. And you just serve half a cup of that with meals. So very important, because garlic is a super healing food that helps cancer also. And the onion is incorporated in our protocols. The onion garlic broth also is incorporated there. Our flaxseed is also incorporated in the breakfast. In breakfast, we have it depends your age, depending if you're a woman or man. It's gonna depend. If I had cancer, I probably use 4 tablespoons. And if I am menopause, 4 tablespoons of freshly grinded flaxseed. And we do that for breakfast because it seems to be the best time to do it. And then, but you can do whatever meal you decide, but it's just easy to bring the flaxseed grounded. I ground my flaxseed once a week, a large amount, and I keep it in the freezer. And so I take that 4 tablespoons, and it has helped me balance my hormones also. Is super good for hot flashes also. And so those are some of the healing foods that we use. There is another one, ginger is another healing food that's good for cancer also. And we do a tea and do 3 nights a week. We do tea with the ginger. We just chop it up, about 1 inch of that. We make a tea and have a tea 3 times a week. So those are the foods. And, as I said, the food is very important that is balanced, because balancing and process. I think most of the diseases of these times is the process foods that are bringing a lot of sickness. And they're not just processed, they're super processed, ultra processed foods. They're so much chemicals and colors that they put there just to make it look good. And so, we highly recommend people that are dealing with cancer to definitely remove all these foods. And not to mention, as I said before, the GMOs are linked to cancer, and the GMO foods are going to be in foods that are not organic. So especially legumes and grains. They use glyphosate also, which is a heavy toxin. It's an herbicide, heavy toxin that is linked to cancer. So those are the foods that we need to totally remove and follow a simple plan. Follow a plan that with foods that God has given us, foods that are very healing. these foods are incredibly healing, actually. We have to have the right ratios, the right amounts. And we see more and more people being sick at these times. That's an epidemic of cancer and autoimmune disorders. And all these foods are very healing for those type of conditions because, hypertension and also diabetes, they are put to rest also with these foods. They're not as complicated to take care of as cancer and autoimmune. So I would like to, if you have any questions, you can type your questions. I'm gonna go to YouTube and see if we have questions. Maybe if Davey is here, can help me if you can read some questions. But I'm gonna try to go in there right now. And okay. Okay. I don't see any questions, but if you have any questions, please type your questions and we'll be happy to answer. And so in the meantime, I'm going to talk a little bit more about our foods. What makes a plant-based balance? So we have servings. There's certain servings that needs to have to have a balanced diet. And we do have a protocol. We have this course, it's called Med Missionary training that we do every 3-4 months, and we train people. And we have a menu that we made in this menu. We incorporate all these servings that need to be incorporated in the foods. So we have a menu that has everything that needs to happen in one day, because you need your grains, which we use the pseudo grains. You're going to need some type of carbohydrates, which we use quinoa, or we use some type of like sweet potato or cassava or yuca, malanga, things like that, which we avoid foods that are somehow inflammatory. So nightshades, we remove it. And this is not, we're not removing forever. We're just removing it for a time until, all the symptoms are gone and until, the cancer is put in remission, hopefully it goes into remission. And so then we do this easy to digest foods, but we have to have a good fat. We have to have our carbohydrates. We have to have our proteins. We have to have all these, the fruits and the vegetables, and so the cruciferous. So all these components have to be incorporated in this diet for a day. So every day the food has to be balanced. So I have a question here. What are the signs of hormonal imbalance in a woman? Okay, it can be a lot of pain when you have your period. That's an imbalance of hormones. It shouldn't hurt. Another thing is somebody that is postmenopause, hot flashes. That is an imbalance hormones. Also, you can have problems with your uterus, ovaries, things like that. So that's an imbalance. And also, when you have cancer, you're going to have an imbalance also of hormones. Another question is how to speed up iron intake for anemia. Okay, so that's a good question. Anemia, and you're going to have also anemia in advanced cancer. You're going to have anemia. So this is a good thing to respond. Usually anemia is because we're dealing with leaky gut. I did suffer from anemia many years ago. This was 2003 to 2006. So many years ago, or 20 years ago. And nobody could figure it out why I was having anemia. At that time, people didn't know much about leaky gut, or they had no idea actually about leaky gut at that time. But that was my problem. I was having leaky gut, so I couldn't absorb iron and other minerals. I was having osteopenia, which is pre-osteoporosis. And so I couldn't absorb these minerals. So I was very sick. And I was having transfusions. I had blood transfusion, and after that I had an iron infusion, but it kept going down. it wasn't sustaining. So once I took care of the problem, it ended up like I believe that I was affected by glyphosate, GMOs at that time. Nobody knew much about it. So I had to get off of all those foods and I start recovering. I also developed food sensitivities. I think it's food sensitivities, the reason we we develop, because before that, not many people had these issues, but now it's like many people are having these problems, and that's because I believe it's the link of leaky gut and malabsorption. So then we are, because the gut is leaking, we're eating foods that are healthy foods and we're reacting to it too. So I was having all those issues. So when we take care of leaky gut problem, usually the iron, you don't lose iron anymore. I was helping this lady that she had iron infusions continuously. She's dealing with Crohn's disease. And after we start helping her hemoglobin is the best it's been. And this is not just her. I think with all these clients I've been helping lately, the iron, the hemoglobin raises really fast. So it doesn't take that long, maybe a couple months until the iron and the hemoglobin is back to normal. So this is how we do in our class that we do med missionary classes. We teach them how to help put to rest the leaky gut. Leaky gut is one of the problems. Okay, so another question, ratio omega-3 to omega-6. I did a study of that maybe 3 years ago. I did a presentation of that at this cardiology practice in Texas. So what I remember is that we can do perhaps later on a presentation just on the ratios omega-3, omega-6. It should be, something that a ratio that's 1 to 20, that's not good at all. 1 to 20 is what Americans, that's the ratio, because they hardly eat any omega-3. If they get omega-3 is from fish, perhaps, which is not a good source. And they eat large amounts of oils and nuts that are, prepared in the wrong ways, and just too much nuts, because nuts we're supposed to eat small amounts every day. So the ratios are super not good. So the less the ratio, the better for cancer. So one of the studies I was reading was that if it's 1 to 1, that will be the best ratio for cancer. But 1 to 3 will be okay too. So that's very important to get familiar with that. Okay, so there is another question here. It is okay to eat corn or stuff with corn products in it? Well, it depends. It depends. I will definitely remove corn and more corn products if they're GMO, if they are not organic, because they are gonna be GMO. And 90-something%, 95%, something like that, is GMO in the United States. And if you have been affected eating GMO, and you have been affected and having an autoimmune disorder and a lot of food sensitivities, we have these memory cells that even when you eat the right kind, it can still affect you in most people. I wouldn't say in everybody. So it's gonna depend on what you're dealing with. How to heal from osteoporosis? So same thing, exactly the same thing. How you recover from low iron, you're gonna recover from low calcium, because it's the same mechanism. So your gut is leaking and you're not absorbing iron, you're not absorbing calcium, you're not absorbing other minerals. So what we do is we take care of the leaky gut. So for leaky gut, we use the onion broth, and we use also aloe vera, and we eat right. We remove all the inflammatory foods, and we only eat anti-inflammatory foods that is balanced. And that's how we take care of the leaky gut, and that's how we can take care of osteoporosis or anemia due to low iron. Okay, I think I answered all the questions are here. So if you have more questions on YouTube, type your questions. Good questions. Okay. Okay, so we have 4 minutes. I'm going to talk to you about the upcoming course that we're having. November 24, we're going to start another training, it's called Medical Missionary Training, Med Missionary Training. But this is a very practical course. The class 1 is going to be an evaluation, lifestyle evaluation. It's about 1 hour. And how to do an evaluation for lifestyle evaluation. Somebody is sick that you want to help recover, or if you want to recover yourself. And class 2 is about the diet. And we give you very specific, very, very practical diet. We have even a menu, a 4-day menu, where you know exactly how to eat. And it's these are examples of how you should eat a balanced plant-based. But for a lot of people, it's very important to know, have a menu and what you eat, when you're dealing with these serious conditions. So we do have a menu of 4 days. So you eat 4 days and then start again or again. And we rotate things. And that's been super helpful. Day 3, because our training is 6 Sundays, and each Sunday is a class, live class. So the 3rd Sunday is about our protocol with the super healing foods, and we tell you exactly all the dosages and the schedule, how to incorporate these super healing foods. And there is and you can also download the copy of this. Same thing, you can download the menu so you can start following the menu with the protocol. And then class number 4 is about natural remedies. So we teach you natural remedies for different conditions. And usually we have Dr. RV that help us with this class. She loves doing a class on natural remedies, and she applies all these natural remedies to her patients. She's an internal medicine doctor. And so it's a very fun class. We also have sometimes Dr. Bill Sweat. He's a gastroenterologist, and he helps us, with the issues with the gut and leaky gut. And very, very interesting input that he helped us with. And then on class 5, we do difficult conditions. What do we do when we're dealing with difficult conditions? Because the diet that we have and the protocol are the basic diet. Most of people do wonderful with that, maybe 70% or maybe more, 80 or 90. They do great with that, just that. But for some people, we had to go the extra mile. For example, people with Crohn's disease and with IBS, or, how do we make it a little more personable for somebody that has heart conditions or diabetes. So that class is for to teach you how to make more changes and when it's needed. And in this last class, we teach you how to coach others, in how to help other people that are having health issues. So, some people like helping other people, whether it's for, sustaining yourself or just to help people, to help family, to help other people. If you want to do an extra, have perhaps a part-time job or Sunday job that you want to coach people, so you can do that too. So we teach you how to an effective way to coach. So that's what we do in the 6th class. And then also in our program, we have videos with Dr. Joshi about all the science behind all this, why we do what we do. And talk about all the loss of health from every angle, how to help you recover from every angle, and how to also be a medical missionary just like Jesus to help other people to recover. And we have also videos how to prepare the foods. We have lots of videos, small short videos how to do natural remedies are there too in the website. We have the Bible in health. the pioneers work in health. What else we have? We have lots of resources. We've been answering questions for years now, and we have a document, questions and answers too there. So it'll be so I would like to invite you. If you have not taken this class, we want to invite you to take it. We have not hundreds and hundreds that have joined this class. It's been thousands of people that joined this class and have been blessed. And they're blessing other people because they're helping other people. This is the goal of this Med Missionary course. Is not just to help people to recover, although more than 90% of people that join our classes, they want to join because they want to recover. But when they recover, we are so grateful to God that has given us another chance, and we want to help other people. So that's the medical missionary work part. Okay, so there is a couple more questions here. It's okay to be eating mushrooms? Well, if you have fungus issues and balance of the bacteria, we avoid it. So while we do the therapeutic protocol, we do not do mushrooms. So later on, perhaps it has to be also the healthy ones. Okay, the link to join this class is going to start very soon. So I think it's a week and a half. It's Med Missionary. So I'm typing here, medmissionary.com. So go medmissionary.com and then go to registration. When you click registration, there is a video that Davey, our director tech, made a video what all consists the class. So it's a very, very nice video that navigates through the website with what we do with the training offers. But we have very good, great testimonies from many people that have been recovered. So it's been a super blessing. So you can go Med Missionary, one word, in YouTube. Here, right here, you are in this channel, Med Missionary. You just check all the testimonies that we have done interviews, and it might be very helpful for you if you're dealing with something serious, or if you want to have a good health, or if you want to help others to recover. Okay, I guess there's no more questions, and it's already a little after 6. So we're going to conclude this class. Thank you so much for joining. And we're going to keep doing, we do these open houses every 2 months. But every Thursday, we do classes for members. Our members is people that have taken the course and they want to continue in the community of Med Missionary and would like to continue learning. We have the advanced classes. We teach how to open a lifestyle center. We teach how to bring this program to your church. It's called the Autoimmune Recovery Program. We teach you how to do detox. Also, we teach you also how to do programs at your churches, do PowerPoint. So we have all kinds of materials for you to be active as a medical missionary, helping other people. So that's why we have classes every Thursday. So once you join the course, you'll have the opportunity to also join the membership. So I hope to see you there pretty soon. Okay, somebody's asking, I'm interested in today's cancer program link. Yeah, this is live on YouTube. You can watch it as many times as you like. Another question, will taking the course certify us? We give you a certificate of completion from Med Missionary. So you will get a certificate of completion from Med Missionary. At the end, you're gonna have to do a test, and it's not a very difficult test, but you have to go through all the stuff that we have in the website on lifestyle, and then do a test, and then you get the certificate. Okay, awesome. So I think we are done, and I wanna pray also, close this class with a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much because you have the answers for our serious problems. You have the answers for perhaps an advanced cancer. And I just want to ask you, perhaps there's many people or few people here that are listening this program. They are dealing with this type of disease that it can be scary. But I just want to ask you that your loving hand is upon specifically these people that is listening this program, and they can feel your presence and they can feel that you guiding them. And I just want to ask you that they can connect with you in a deep way and ask for total guidance. We know that you want to give us the best gifts, and I just want to leave everything in your hands for the people that are listening, that are dealing with this condition. So I just want to thank you for being a God of, you're a merciful God and a loving God. And I just want to ask you that we all relied on you, and we don't have to do this alone, and we don't have to feel lonely because we have you, the God of the universe, that are so willing to connect with you. So I just want to thank you for that and bless everybody that has attended this class. In Jesus' name, amen. God bless everybody.